guys, it's Light. Welcome back to my channel. If you've watched a few of my other videos, you know I'm quite a peppy, bubbly, outgoing person. But I still struggle with mental illness and depression. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, BPD. I have all kinds of diagnoses. Who's to say what's the accurate diagnosis? Bottom line is my brain's a little sick, but that's okay. I've always been really open about my mental illness and how I'm feeling with you guys. I think it's important to do that, especially when I'm trying to have like a little platform. I think it's important to normalize talking about that kind of stuff and being open about it. I think it's really healthy for me, for one, and I think it's helpful to you guys to hear how other people deal with things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for me at least, someone on the internet like whose content I really enjoy and they open up about like mental illness or something they're going through, it kind of does like touch me, so makes me feel better, not so alone, makes me feel a little bit more normal. So I hope that's what it does for you guys with me. So I just wanted to take a moment today to tell you guys kind of how I fight through my depression. Like I said, I'm a really like bubbly, positive, outgoing person. I try really hard to be optimistic and to just like keep my life moving forward, moving upward. I have been struggling with it my whole life as long as I can remember. I'm 24 now, so unfortunately I have a lot of experience dealing with kind of ickiness that my brain puts me through. When I was younger, I would lash out a lot, and that has definitely improved once I recognized what my actual emotions were and I honored those emotions. And I just became more aware of like what triggers it, what the underlying issue was. All of that just comes with time, age, taking the time to figure yourself out. Before we get into the video, I'm gonna say some cliche stuff because you need to hear it. If you are going through something right now, or if you're not going through anything and your brain is just depressed, because that happens, you don't have to have a reason to be depressed. You can just be depressed. If you are going through that right now, first of all, I wanna say I'm so sorry. That's not something I would wish on anyone. And I want you to know that even if it doesn't feel like it, you are 1000% strong enough to get through it. Something that helps me is trying to remember that you are not your brain. You are a soul experiencing your brain. And sometimes your brain is gonna lie to you and tell you that things are worse than they actually are. So keep that in mind. Your brain is capable of being a big fat liar and you don't have to listen to it. That being said, let's get into some of my little tricks I do to fight depression. Okay, so the first, most important, most effective thing that I have found for myself to fight depressive episodes is accountability lists. Now I know what you're thinking, this may look like a lot of work, lots of tedious effort, but it's worth it. Of course, this isn't gonna work for everyone, but honestly, this is very effective in my life. So I knew I had to share it with you guys. So these are my last like 3 months-ish accountability list. We have July, August, September, and then a little bit more of September. This is me being 100% real and honest with you guys. I didn't plan on making this video when I wrote all this stuff. Like, it's messy. There's some things that I'm not proud of on them. And for example, this accountability list, the last time I wrote on it was September 25th, and it is currently, hey Google, what's the date today?
It is Thursday, October 8th, 2020.
It's October 8th and I haven't written on my accountability list since the 25th. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna explain what an accountability list is. All right, we're gonna start with August because this is my prettiest one. So these are all the dates, and basically what I do is I try to keep myself accountable for all of the things that I tend to slack on or give up on when I'm going through a depressive episode. For example, I keep track of how much water I drink. These are bottles of water. As you can see, August, I wasn't doing that great with water. Some days I didn't drink any water. I also like to track what food I'm eating. I just do quick little things like coffee, fries and chicken fingers, crackers. Make sure I was eating that day. Try to keep track of when I'm eating out, like unhealthy eating habits, and this really helps me keep under control my eating disorder. Another big thing I struggle with when I am depressed is showering. Like, as you can see here, I go days without showering sometimes. So I really need to track it, because seeing all these X's in a row, like, that makes me feel really proud of myself. I also track when I wash my hair. I don't wash my hair every time I shower. I hate washing my hair, especially when I'm depressed, so I do need to track that as well. This next column here I titled Spirit. That's just when I'm spiritual. In August, I meditated once, which is not good. I also put here if I journal all of August. I didn't journal, which is also a little disappointing, but I'm not gonna feel bad about it. These lists are not to make you feel bad about either doing something or not doing something. It's literally just to keep track. I have to remind myself that over and over again, that this is not meant to make me feel bad. It's simply a concrete example of when I'm falling off and in what ways I'm falling off, and it kind of encourages me to get back on track and which areas I need to focus on. This next section here is for Finn, my ferret. The days that I take him out, the days I clean his cage, I give him a bath, I cut his nails. Unfortunately, when you have pets or children, your depression does affect them. So that is something I want to track. I want to make sure he's getting out and getting as much love as he needs. Socials, as you guys know, I post on social media a lot. So this is me tracking all the different social medias I posted on. I do want to be consistent, but that is hard when you have mental illness. So it actually looks like I did pretty good in August. I was posting a lot. Then activity, whether I went to work, I went to the gym, kind of just what I did that day, what was the main focus of that day. Like this day, all I wrote was party, so I guess I had a party on August 17th. And then this last column here, it stands for alcohol. I used to really struggle with how much I was drinking in the past, like within the past year. So that's something I have really hardcore been nipping in the butt, because I do not want to be an alcoholic and I do not want to rely on alcohol to have a social life. So I track every time I drink. In August, I only drank 3 times, which is pretty good if I do say so myself. I try to keep it to just weekends, but if we look over here at like July, I was drinking a little bit more in July. And then like you can see here, I tried to journal a little bit more. I put sad faces here because I didn't do any journaling or meditating. I was doing really good with showering in July. That looks pretty good. Something else to consider with these accountability lists is, of course, you're keeping these lists so you're keeping yourself accountable. But another thing you can do that I do is I show these to people. Like whoever I'm dating at the time, my friends, I'm showing you guys right now. And some of it can be embarrassing, like going 4 days without showering. That is really embarrassing to admit to my friends and family. Going a whole month without meditating. I'm supposed to be the spiritual person and I go that long without meditating. So it can be embarrassing, but I think it does add, because next month I would like to shower every day and like show people like, hey, I can be a functioning human being. I know in a way that might sound a little controversial because you should want to do things for yourself, which I 100% agree with. When you are dealing with mental illness, I think trying to get better for any reason is a positive. So if the only reason you're trying to get better is just to prove to other people that you can, I still think that's good. And again, I want to reiterate that this list is not to make you feel bad. Like I said, when I look at this and see some of the stuff that I've been doing or haven't been doing, it does make me feel bad, but you can't let it, because you are a human being. You aren't going to be on top of everything. What's not okay is if you're not trying. As long as you are trying every day, even a little bit, you don't even have to try your best. You can try 50% of your best. If you're trying, then whatever the outcome is okay. If you need to lay in bed all day and scroll on TikTok to keep yourself from doing something bad, then do that. Do whatever it takes to keep on going. Something my ex-boyfriend told me that I will never forget is do what you gotta do to get through the day. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, what social media thinks. It doesn't even matter what you think. Just do what you gotta do to get through it. And that honestly sounds simple enough, but being able to do that and not feel bad about it is very valuable. We're going through a time right now in the world where there's a lot of spiritual awakening happening. There's a lot of things changing very quickly that other generations haven't lived through. We're going through things people have never lived through, and there's no blueprint for it, you know? There's no blueprint on how to deal with all of these societal and energetic changes. So we're all out here truly just winging it, and even if some of us don't believe it, I think we're all doing a damn good job. I made a video a while ago titled "What is Happiness?" It's honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever made, so I'll tag it like as a card and down in the description so you guys can see it if you want. Unfortunately, we don't know how to cure depression, but what we do know is happiness comes from connections with other people. That's literally what life is all about, is love. Loving yourself, loving other people, loving the world. Even when things are bad and people fuck you over, just loving it all anyway, because it's all messy and it's all beautiful. I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel like I'm starting to sound like an inspirational spokesperson, but It's true. I honestly believe these things deep in my heart. Let me know what you guys think of my list and what you guys do to fight an oncoming depressive episode. I want to make more videos talking about this kind of stuff because that is basically what I started my channel as. And I think we all need a little more positivity in our life. So let's do it, baby. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I hope you guys are doing okay in all this craziness. I love you, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.